This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted today to be joined with David Haye. We've just had the press conference. A little bit back and forth between you. What are your sort of thoughts? What are you first thinking going into it with Joe Fournier takes on the task of KSI this weekend?
I'm excited. I really am excited. I've known KSI for a while. I've known Joe for many years, and this is the culmination of his very unorthodox boxing career. He's done things very differently. He didn't start as an amateur boxer like most pros do. He started off on the sort of the white collar scene and doing his unlicensed boxing. And here he is, packing out the Wembley Arena on pay-per-view, on DAZN. It's been a very, as I said, unorthodox route to get to the main event, but here he is, and he's got the opportunity now to really show what he has. I don't think he's shown in previous fights, what he's really got, because he hasn't really been in there in his pro fights with guys who have really had any sort of amateur pedigree. They were the usual sort of journeyman, and I think this is his opportunity to show what he's all about. And it's a big task, but it's against a guy who is super fit, fast, young, fresh, all of that stuff, but he doesn't have any hardcore boxing experience, and I think that's where the trouble will lie for him.
What did you make of the bet and everything? You were sort of trying to get involved almost. What did you sort of make of the money being thrown, all the bet, that sort of antics?
I love it. I love a bit of pre-fight hype. I love the silly antics. Chucking a few dollar bills at Joe. It's going to take more than that to faze him. I saw one of the girls threw some fish, and then someone poured a bucket of piss over someone. It's all a bit Jerry Springer for a little while, but I try not to get too distracted with that and just focused on the main event. I'm there to really enjoy this night. I know KSI's team really well. I know KSI used to train in my gym from time to time, and it's a strange situation, but it's a situation I can sit back and I can enjoy, and I'm genuinely intrigued about what's going to genuinely happen when that first bell rings.
What did you sort of, when you look at press conferences, you've been involved in some classic ones a lot among the years. You now see these sort of misfits guys where it seems to kick off at every press conference. Where does this sort of rank, when you were sitting on the table, where does this rank from every single press conference that you've been in?
It was definitely unique. I've never seen a porn star throwing fish and then she ran over and threw some drink and it sprayed all of the top table. Didn't really appreciate that, to clean my glasses and whatnot. But it's, this is misfits boxing. It's very, as it says what it does on the tin, it's misfits, and it's unusual. When you've been in professional boxing for so long, this is very different. But it's fun. I don't really take it too seriously. It's entertainment. It's like WWE and boxing mixed together.
Now let's talk about the proper boxing, the proper stuff. Talking to a heavyweight now, it's no bet that I asked you about this potential heavyweight tournament in Saudi Arabia. Just on your personal view, how possible do you think that this could potentially happen, that we could get the four biggest heavyweights in the world fighting on one night?
Well, we couldn't get Fury Usyk to happen on one night when Usyk allegedly was willing to accept just 30% of the purse. So if that can't happen, how are we going to get Wilder, Fury, and all of them to agree and fight on the same night? Who fights first? Who fights second? In theory, it sounds like the best thing ever, but in reality, boxing doesn't work that way.
What do you sort of make of the fights though? With obviously, Fury Usyk's the one that's been talked about a lot, but with AJ versus Wilder, a fight that's been talked about for so many years. Do you feel like this is the right time for AJ to be fighting Wilder?
I think he should have another fight before. The last fight against Franklin won't be preparation for Wilder in any way. I reckon he should fight Dylan White. That's the fight that I think he needs, because if he can't beat Dylan White, he shouldn't be fighting Wilder. If you can beat Dylan White, beat him in good style to give yourself confidence going against Wilder, because trust me firsthand, I've spent a lot of rounds in the ring with Wilder, and he's very unusual, and you can't get sparring partners to replicate him because he's very unique.
On the other hand, though, as an argument, is it right to say that AJ's been, he's fought in so many world title fights, he's fought in, big fights all around. Why does he need another fight against Wilder? Why can't he just jump in? Is that a fair argument to make, do you think?
No.
Fair enough, that's all right. Moving on to yourself, Tony Bellew made comments about talking about Tyson Fury. They made comments about 2013. He thought you would beat Tyson Fury. I know you're going to believe in yourself, but when you saw those comments, was it nice to sort of get that back in? And I'm sure you sort of believed that yourself.
It wasn't just him. I was a big favourite, the bookies' favourite, and pretty much all of the press and media had me winning the fight. But it didn't happen. But back then, I was just coming off knocking out Derek Chisora. He'd just come off the back of a victory over Steve Cunningham, who was a very small cruiserweight who was able to knock him down pretty heavily. In the fight, he struggled. So off the strength of our last two fights, obviously the bookies had me a massive favourite. Unfortunately, the fight didn't take place, so we'll never know.
Do you ever I know you've achieved a lot in your career, but would you ever sort of kick yourself at fights like that didn't happen, maybe the Fury fight? Do you ever sort of look back and not have regrets, but do you kick yourself a little bit at times?
No.
It's completely fair enough. I know, talking about yourself, when you look at the heavyweight rankings at the moment, you look at guys like Usyk, you look at guys like Fury, where would you sort of look at yourself and you rank yourself if you were to sort of fight against them guys from back when you was the heavyweight champion till now?
I think in my prime I beat all of them.
No, David, so just to sort of finish this off, what happens on Saturday night with your man Joe Fournier?
I think Joe Fournier either outboxes him or he stops him.
David, thank you for your time, mate. Really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. I appreciate the time, mate. Thank you.